This is a short instructional video on how to post your grades for the Q1 report cards. This process might change as we continue to work in this field test, but this is the process for Q1. First thing you're going to want to do is just make sure that the grades are calculating correctly. Choose a couple students from each of your courses, calculate their grades, and make sure that they are calculating correctly. If you find that they are not, you're going to want to go and make sure that you have set up your courses correctly to align with your grading expectations. You find that in the Options tab and under the Terms tab. Open up your semester and your quarter views and just make sure that you have selected the correct scale and the grading method for each of these. You can refer back to the resources that were made available to you at the beginning of the school year to set it up the way that you intend. Once you make those changes, you're going to click Save. And then you can just toggle to your next course and make sure that they're set up as well. Once you've gone through and you've made sure that they're all set again, double check your grading scales and your grading calculation and make sure that that aligns with your expectations. Once you've determined that, what you might want to do is go through and evaluate each student's grades and change or override any grade that need to be changed. To do that, you find a student and you determine with your professional judgment that this student's grade is being calculated normally to an F, but perhaps what they know and they can do doesn't reflect an F, but maybe is more of a passing grade, and you can change that to a D or whatever it is that you choose. Click on the final grade. This window will open. You can choose an override grade. In the override grade area, you can enter any letter grade that is already in the scale. So that'll be A, B, C, or F. Or if you've chosen a grading scale with a D, it would be an A, B, C, D, or F. If you don't have that D in there, you can't mark the D here. You can, however, choose a D from the drop-down menu here, or you can choose any one of these other scales or codes. If you're going to use any of these other codes, make sure that they are in alignment with your administrator's expectations. Using some of these codes is not appropriate under almost all circumstances. The D would be okay, and the pass, no pass would be okay for students depending on what their IEP says. This would be IEP students, and it would depend on what their IEP expectations are, whether you can use pass or no pass. All the other codes, check with your administration before entering one of those. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and enter D, click Save, and you'll see that that grade has been overridden. Click this student here. Perhaps we want that student to have a C, or an A, Save, and now their grade is overridden. You can see that they've got an override grade because it crosses out their total points and it bolds their final percentage. Once you've finished overriding all of your grades, toggling through each of your courses and doing that, you may want to enter comments. There are two types of comments that you can enter. You can do one or the other. You cannot add both types of comments. The comments are the numbered comments, or you can enter free-form comments. Do not do both. Do one or the other. To enter the free-form comments, you're going to just click on this notebook paper here next to one of the students. It'll open up a window, and you're going to choose the quarter that you're in. We're in Q1, so you're going to add a comment here. Click on the pencil, and you're going to add comment here. At the progress report time, we discovered that there were some problems with the communication between the grading program and ESIS, and this is where it is complex. And this was mentioned during at the beginning of the year, that this is why not all grading programs will work here. We have resolved these issues. Before you weren't able to copy and paste, or you did, but it kind of created some code error in there. That has been resolved. The only limitations you have is that you can only enter 225 characters. You cannot enter any more than 225 characters. If you do, there will be no comment that will be sent. It will send over just an error message and the letter grade. Your comment will not be sent if you enter more than 225 characters. So please be very conservative with your freeform comments so that you do not exceed 225 characters. Characters include punctuation, spaces, letters, any keystroke. The EdBox gradebook does not count these characters. So you're not going to know how many they are unless you count them yourselves. And that is because this limitation is not with the EdBox gradebook, but with the ESIS report card. And because this information will be transferred to the ESIS report card, that is why there's a limit of 225 characters. So once you enter your comment, hit save, and you can scroll to the next student, and you can add a freeform comment again. You can again just copy and paste, save, next student. Enter comment, save, scroll to the next student. If you need to go back to the student and make a change, you just go back to their student and you can make those changes. I'm going to go ahead and erase that so that I can show you the number comments. So if you choose to use number comments instead, you'll make sure that you have no comments in the quarter one view. Instead, you'll work from the gradebook grid and you'll switch from the grade view to the report card comments view. In here, I've already have a few numbers that have already been entered. You simply click into a cell, and if you want to see a drop-down menu with all the comments, you hit the space bar. This is not the easiest way to do it, but this is a way you can do it. Select your comment. That comment has now been added to this person's report card. The easier way is to look at the table that has been made available to you in an email that has these instructions. It is also available online, and you can simply click into the cell and enter in a 3-digit code, and now that 3-digit code has added that comment onto this person's report card. Once you add all the comments in all your courses, we can just go back to the gradebook grid. You have now ensured that your grading method is correct. You've overridden any grades that need to be overridden. You've added either freeform comments or numbered comments. The only thing you have to do now is finalize your grades. To do that, you're going to go to the drop-down menu here in the corner. You're going to choose Finalize Grades and select quarter one, and then hit save. You'll need to do this for each one of your courses. Just toggle to the next course and follow the same process. Use that drop-down menu, choose quarter one, and save. As soon as you do that, we will transfer all the data out of the EdBox gradebook into ESIS and generate your report cards. Do not enter anything into ESIS. Anything that you enter into ESIS will be erased by the data that is in the gradebook. Enter all your marks in the EdBox gradebook. And please know, we do everything we can to try to make this as simple for you as possible. The idea here is that we want the tool to save you time so that you can spend more time with the students and with your curriculum rather than on these administrative tasks. If you have any questions or concerns, please send an email to edboxgb@pps.k12.or.us. Again, that's edboxgb@pps.k12.or.us. Thank you. Thank you very much for your participation